Taxi! Welcome to Rotherham, a city that was known for its coal and steel heritage, now unfortunately known for the grooming gang scandal. For absolutely decades, men abused children out of homes, care homes, or just vulnerable children that they found on the streets. They were put under the worst of treatment, sexually and physically, that can be known to man. Recently, a colleague of mine, Sammy Woodhouse, was involved in an inquiry that brought to light all these injustices that were made towards these children. The inquiry showed that 87% of the perpetrators were British-born Pakistani Muslim men. Now, these crimes have been happening for decades. For decades, they were kidnapping, raping, torturing, and in some instances, murdering young white children. Previously to that, they were committing the same heinous crimes against girls from my own background, the Sikh girls as well. This happened for decades and decades and decades. No arrests, ignored, all for the sake of the government and the police's multicultural experiment that had failed these poor girls over and over again. And the grooming gang scandal didn't just happen in Rotherham. It happened in cities and cities up and down this great nation. We are still finding out about cases that happened years ago, and it seems like it's still currently happening by the hands of these Pakistani Muslim men. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of victims, their lives, their justice ignored by left-wing constabulary, left-wing governments, that for the sake of community cohesion and their failed multicultural experiment refused to charge these men and put them precisely where they deserve to be, in prison. Even recently, we've seen one of the Rochdale grooming gang leaders be released from prison, and they still refuse to implement some law and order and have this sick individual deported where he was from, Pakistan. And in the grooming gang inquiry, it was stated that taxi drivers played a pivotal role in not just the raping of these poor young children, but also the transporting of them from city to city to city. When we started the New Era episode earlier on this year, the assailant involved from Rochdale was a taxi driver. We keep hearing every other week in the news, a taxi driver commits this sexual offence, a taxi driver kidnapped this girl, a taxi driver did this. For some reason, from that career, that path in life, we keep seeing assailants emerge from. What this documentary is basically going to talk about is not just only the grooming gang inquiry, but also the role that taxi drivers played in it. Because what we have seen taxi drivers commit these heinous crimes to these poor, vulnerable children all around this country. We've seen them traffic them from city to city, from town to town. And they use their career, that trust that they have in the community, and they exploit that to commit their crimes. And it keeps happening over and over and over again. And this is what I want to talk to you about today. I needed to get some advice around the whole taxi licensing business, and who better than an actual taxi driver? Taxi! Fuck Uber.
Mate.
All right, mate, I don't suppose you could give me a little bit of advice around about taxi licensing, could you?
Jump in, mate.
Come on then, pal. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce you to a close colleague of myself and Urban Scoops, Mr. Lee O'Brien. Mr. Lee O'Brien has sung at our demonstration previously, and today we're going to have a little chat with him about licensing rules and regulations regarding taxis and what his personal opinion is on what the problem is behind these individuals that have been given the opportunity to commit these heinous crimes. Lee, thank you so much for giving me your time
nice
today.
To see you.
He's just charged me £4.60 for just doing that little journey around there. You know what? We'll have to put it on the tab.
Exactly, yeah.
Mate, I'm making a documentary. Sammy Woodhouse is in it. It's regarding, I keep hearing the vocation being used over and over again. Taxi drivers involved in the rape gang inquiry. Taxi driver does this, taxi driver does that. You know, especially when it comes to these heinous crimes that I deal with on a daily basis, which is paedophilia and rape. When I dug into the rape gang inquiry that was created by Rupert Lowe with the help of colleagues of myself, like Sammy Woodhouse, taxi drivers was one of them jobs that these sick individuals took advantage of to be able to commit their crimes. What's your opinion on all this?
Well, listen, as I've said to you when we had a little chat beforehand, look, we know that licensed London taxis in London, there's about 14,000 of us black cab drivers. So the private hire is, I think to date, about 110,000. That's legal in London. So out of town, there's a place in Wolverhampton where they get their licenses. And
can you tell us a little bit more about that? Sammy spoke about that.
So yeah, I mean, there's like they call it a training centre, but it's a centre in Wolverhampton where they can go and get their licence. And there's a thing called triple lock. Triple lock means the driver, the app, you should be able to go and get your licence and only work in that area. They're coming into London, these drivers, and just working illegally as far as we know. They can work their apps. I'm not going to mention the apps because I despise them. But anyway, they're working the apps. They'll come into London. They can pick a job up in Wolverhampton, drop it off in London, and then they have to drive straight out. But they don't. They're working. I was only in town the other day. I was driving along near Harrods, and there was a young girl, as nice as she looked, driving along in a nice clean car. She was from Wolverhampton. What's she doing here? She shouldn't be driving the car, in town. They should drop off and go straight out, but they're not doing it.
So that's obvious evidence that individuals are utilising the licensing regarding taxis to be able to break the boundaries of where they do actually work. You'd expect these people to be staying within their confined zones, within their rules and regulations, especially in such a trusted role in the community.
Exactly that. I mean, it's not just Wolverhampton. We drive around, all day in London, and you're seeing different badges, Cambridgeshire, Southampton, and different other areas that they're using. They're coming into town, turn their apps on. There's more than one app they can use. So they're earning good money in London because that's where the money is.
What's the benefit of them of getting their licenses in Wolverhampton?
I think it's just quick. There was a loophole. I think, where was it? There was a loophole that if it hit certain individuals, you could go on and basically forge their identification, and then they get their license.
It's the same sort of thing that we've been told about as well. Translators available to them. Right. They don't need to speak English. They could come in from wherever, only live in the country for a certain period, don't even need the full documentation of what is usually required to have a taxi license. It's like a little bit of a under the counter, here's your license, get to work.
I mean, it's out there that I think it was, I'd say 2019, I think our regulator admitted nearly 15,000 illegal journeys were made by private hire vehicles, right? So that was mainly unidentified drivers. So, I mean, wow. Come on, how is that happening? Just, they're sharing identifications with friends and family. We're black cab drivers now. We are getting ex-Uber users back in the taxis, and then you have a chat with young ladies, and they say, we'll get into I don't know if I've said it, haven't I? Them people's cars, and they'll look, when they've ordered it on the app, they'll look at the driver, it's not even that driver.
Complete difference.
So we know that's happening. But, just the other day, I think I sent it to you, there was a private hire vehicle in London, I think it was Shaftesbury Avenue, sitting at the traffic lights, sucking on the balloon.
Yeah.
How is that happening?
Yeah.
Why are we not stopping it?
In the England I grew up, Lee, the local taxi driver was known in the local area. Everybody knew his face. Everybody had a direct number to him.
Yeah.
You could wave you around, give him a call, and we'd come straight round to pick you up.
Yeah.
We're living in a world nowadays where people are starting to feel more and more uncomfortable ordering taxis due to these crimes that are coming out of these individuals' cars on a weekly basis, what we're saying on telly.
Yeah.
There are still some good taxi drivers out there, including yourself.
Yeah.
What have you got to say in taxi drivers' defence regarding all these sick individuals, especially towards these sick individuals that have put the word taxi driver into a bit of a disrepute?
Well, what we need to, when it's not taxi driver, they say that whenever there's a report regarding something that goes on with private hire, they initially call them a taxi driver. They're not taxi drivers.
Right.
They're private hire drivers.
Okay, what's the difference?
Well, so London taxi driver, we've done the knowledge of London takes us up between 3 and 5 years to become taxi drivers.
Right.
As we pointed out, you got these training centres in Wolverhampton. You don't need to go and do the knowledge. You could just go there. I think it's a few £100 or whatever it is just to get their licence. They get a little blue roundel, stick it in their window, get the app, and then they can go and work wherever they want. Well, they think they can. And that's what's happening. It's not right.
Have you got any advice to parents and family members at home that are worried about their kids getting taxis, what they should do, what they should look for, what they shouldn't do?
Listen, we're not saying every single private hire. There's some legitimate people driving just coming just to earn a living, right? But we know full well, if we've already stated there's 15,000 legal journeys who are basically not they're not vetted, right? So they're using identifications. We know, parents know, you're going to be much safer getting in a London taxi than you are a private hire, right? And they know that. But for our experience, you're getting the youngsters going out of a weekend. You know, my taxi, like I just said to you, holds 6 people. And then they go, oh, we're going to get a private hire because it's cheaper. I mean, you can't put a price on your safety.
I understand.
It doesn't matter how much a taxi would cost, in my opinion. You're right. You're going to be safe, right? Look at it, break it down between 6 people for a cheap fare. And also, private hires are not as cheap as they once were. They're a lot more expensive. So that's it.
Lee, I want to thank you very much for your time today. Your knowledge and information has been invaluable, and I hope to see you again soon, my brother. Take care. In my eyes, there was only one person to have this conversation with. She's not just a colleague of mine, but she's also a close friend, and that is why we are in this town of Rotherham. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce to you Miss Sammy Woodhouse. Miss Sammy Woodhouse. Sammy, thank you very much for being here today. She's a little bit of a superstar nowadays. It took me a couple of weeks to lock her down, but obviously she's always got time for me, so thank you very much for having us at this beautiful venue today in Sheffield. Now, Sammy, just for the viewers at home, give us a little bit of a history about who you are, where you came from, and what you're doing now.
So I'm from Rotherham. I was, as a child, exploited in my hometown. In 2013, I did an interview with Andrew Norfolk at the Times newspaper, naming politicians, police officers, and the man that raped me, which exposed the Rotherham child abuse scandal. And from that moment on, I started doing activism work, and that was around, raising awareness, changing policies, laws, basically anything I could do to try and bring a focus to child criminal sexual exploitation and children born of rape. And then about 16 months ago, and MP Rupert Lowe asked me to lead the rape gang inquiry. So that is my work at the moment. We've just published our report, which, was absolutely damning, showed that hundreds of thousands of children, and that's a minimum, around the UK since as early as the 1950s, have been getting groomed, abused, raped, tortured, trafficked, murdered. The authorities knew, turned a blind eye to it. The children and families was blamed, really horrific stuff.
So your sexual exploitation was, you were a victim of a grooming gang as well?
Yes.
The Rotherham
True, or should I say, yes.
What's happened to the perpetrators that committed them heinous crimes against you?
So I had one perpetrator, which was Arshad Hussain. He got sentenced to 35 years, which at the time was the highest sentence in British history for child sexual exploitation crimes. So he wasn't just doing this to me, he was doing it to lots of other children. He was the leader of the gang, so his brothers was involved in this as well. He had an uncle. In the first trial, the first big trial that came after the exposure, 2 women were also sentenced as well, which I think it's important to remind people of that, because people think this is a crime that just happens by men. Of course it's not.
How's your work with the rape gang inquiry been going so far? I mean, I understand the report has just been released a week or so ago.
Yeah.
I've not managed to read it all myself. I am getting through it bit by bit. From your opinion, can you give us some of the highlights, the most important things that have been brought to light within that inquiry?
Yeah, of course. Well, it showed, some of the horrific things that was happening to children, and not just females. Again, people think this is only happening to little white girls. This is happening to boys as well.
Really? I didn't come across that.
Yeah. I think we often forget about boys. I've spoken to boys and they feel, just as girls feel as well, it's really difficult to come forward. But I hear that a lot from boys, and they feel very neglected when we're talking about child abuse. But they, children were, again, raped, tortured, trafficked, locked in cages. They had petrol poured over them, set on fire, forced to dig their own graves.
Wow.
Locked in cages, raped by dogs. It was absolutely horrific. And they was telling people, and people didn't want to listen. They were called liars, they were blamed.
Let me just get back to that 1 second. Raped by dogs?
Yeah.
In what area was that?
Well, I'm not going to go into too much detail of where that is because as well there were police officers involved. So we are working with survivors. There are some criminal investigations that have now started.
Right.
We are still trying to get some other criminal investigations started as well.
What do you mean by police officers being involved?
So they had what was branded as cop nights, where the police officers would take it in turns to rape children and then hand them back to, these gangs that were exploiting them. And if you look in Rotherham, when I exposed it, I named not only the Labour politician and relative to my rapist, Jahangir Akhtar, but I also named PC Hassan Ali for his involvement. He was killed just several hours after he was placed under investigation. But, throughout all these towns and cities, police officers have been directly involved or, completely ignoring what happened.
And you can't mention the towns because of ongoing court cases, etc. at the moment.
Some investigations are ongoing, yes. So I'm not going to go into detail of any of that, but some have concluded.
That's shocking because I've known about the grooming gang scandal for quite a while, since the birth of English fencing. Me and Tommy Robinson have been up and down the country shining a light on it, but things like being raped by dogs or police officers holding their own rape nights against these poor young victims, this is all new to me. So it just shows that, I've never believed that we've ever hit the peak of this mountain when it comes to this whole grooming gang scandal around this country. I think we're only still discovering what's at the very bottom, and there's a lot more to come out. And it's going to be people like yourself and Rupert Lowe and the members of the inquiry that are going to bring this to light and hopefully get some justice for these children that they deserve. Yeah. You know what, Sam? What's been troubling my mind quite a bit over the last? Well, it's been troubling my mind for years. Since the birth of the English Fancy, when me and Tommy Robinson used to speak about the grooming gang scandal, we used to hear about taxi drivers being involved, taxi drivers raping children, taxi drivers ferrying children from one city to the other. Every other week in the newspaper, taxi driver raped somebody. I just dealt with another sting recently in Scotland. Taxi driver raped somebody. Taxi driver killed this person. From what I've read from the grooming gang scandal, various grooming gangs across the country, this vocation of taxi drivers keeps coming up over and over and over and over again. An episode I made recently, The New Era in Rochdale, taxi driver, and the assailant that we're going after in this episode, he's a ex-taxi driver waiting to get his taxi driving license back. And you've got a lot of experience when it comes to the history of taxi drivers being involved in these crimes. So I suppose my first question to you is, what do you know? What is your experience and what is your history into taxi drivers being involved in these crimes, and why you think they're being involved, why you think they're involved in these crimes over and over again?
Well, reports do prove, and court cases prove, that taxi drivers were heavily involved in the trafficking of children, and again in my own town of Rotherham. So the Alexis J report that was published August 2014,
I remember it.
That was commissioned from my own story, that criticised taxi drivers. I've actually got documentation going. My case was 1999 to 2001, so I've got paperwork from that time onwards, and it shows that professionals in all different agencies knew the entire operations of these gangs. And one thing they also knew was the different taxi ranks, what were exploiting the children. So they've known this for decades. And, some of these taxi drivers, again, they was involved in raping the children. They were friends or relatives, and they was getting paid to traffic these children. For example, if you're driving down the road and you see, a taxi with people in your car, you're not going to suspect anything, are you?
No.
And also the licensing, they was never really heavily involved in, making things were checked properly, such as the DBS check. So they was very, very relaxed when it comes to the taxi drivers. So I started a group called the Rotherham Steering Group, and we looked at all different issues, and we created a national plan. So we looked at education, the restaurants and takeaways, because they were heavily mentioned as well, and all the taxi licensing, and we put together suggestions. We also worked with the taxi drivers, and we came up with a list that we wanted not only Rotherham to roll out, but for the UK to enrol.
And what happened with that plan?
It was successful in parts of the country. Now, we asked for CCTV and audio. That was one of the main things that we was pushing. That was successful in Rotherham.
I read that there was a bit of a petition with taxi drivers against the implementation of the CCTV and audio in these taxis. Was that actually in Rotherham, or was it other areas as well?
Yeah, that's right. So when we was launching the campaign, the taxi drivers, or at least some taxi drivers, did a protest against that campaign. They thought that, going out into the streets, fighting for not to have the CCTV and audio, that it'd be successful.
Why other reason would you want that, do you think?
Exactly. I remember when that protest was happening, I drove past and one of the men, I actually named in my statements as being one of the rapists.
Wow.
Because not only, was Arshad Hussain raping me, but I obviously witnessed other things. I remembered lots of names. Now, I've worked all over the country, not just with this campaign, but with my other work. So I talked to a lot of taxi drivers. And some taxi drivers, they've not even waited to be told to have CCTV and audio. They do it because it protects themselves as well.
Yeah,
so you've got to understand from a taxi driver's point of view, if, especially weekends, people go out, they're drunk, they can be abusive, etc. So it protects not only the drivers, but the passengers as well. So after the Rotherham Steering Group, we came to an end. I continued my activism on my own. I met with many ministers to try and have this enrolled out nationally. For me, it's just common sense. We have CCTV on buses, on all forms of transport, so why not taxis?
Why do you believe it's taxi drivers that are committing these offences, quite highly, from your findings in the inquiry?
It's not just taxi drivers. From the inquiry, from court cases, from reports, it shows that majority of these perpetrators are Muslim men. So, there's taxi drivers, there's politicians, there's takeaways.
So what you're saying, the majority of the people that are committing these crimes, these taxi drivers, takeaways, politicians, from your findings in the inquiry, are majority Pakistani Muslim men, would you say?
Yeah. And that's what the court cases have proven as well. Now, we know that they've turned a blind eye to what's been going on, but they are court cases now. And if you look at the statistics, it does show that majority of the people committing the crimes are Muslim men. And I'm not saying for 1 second only Muslim men. We always have to say this, don't we? Not all Muslims.
100%.
But of course, if we were talking about white offenders, I wouldn't have to say not all white people.
Yeah.
But
what sort of percentage is it Pakistani Muslim men committing these crimes?
I think it was over, about 85%.
Yeah, 87.
I've not got the report in front of me, I do apologise. But yeah, it is a very high.
Which I find shocking, because obviously in a white Christian British country, majority of the race in this country are white individuals. So you think if any crime was being committed, the majority of the people committing that crime is going to be a white individual.
Yeah.
But what we all found shocking about the grooming gang scandal was that 87% of these crimes being committed of rape and grooming young children in this country were being committed by, at the time, 3-4% of the country. So 87% of the perpetrators were Pakistani Muslim men, and decades ago, when this all started coming to light, there were only about 3-4%, and that's what was disproportionate, and that was the problem. Yeah. You know what I mean? And that's why this issue has had so much focus on.
If you look, kind of going back, so our report goes back to the 1950s, as, we had more immigrants coming into this country, rape and violence towards, children and women started to rise. So if you look at those statistics, right. For example, now, to years ago, it is a lot higher. But of course, what we also know is that a lot of this was happening under Labour councils. They turned a blind eye to this.
Yeah,
Children were sacrificed for votes, let's be honest.
100%, I completely agree with you. We've seen the police establishment, Labour governments, time and time again, successive governments as well, turn a blind eye to what I personally think is the biggest crime against children the planet has ever seen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's completely disgusting.
What we also saw in the inquiry and throughout, all my work in activism was how organised this crime actually was, all throughout the UK. So you had the taxi drivers, the politicians, the police officers, the social workers, staff in NHS. A lot of these people, they knew each other, they was related, they was friends. It was very organised throughout the country.
I can understand that. And taxi drivers do play a pivotal role within the community, a very trusted role. If you were a parent at home, what precautions would you be taking if their children are going out, maybe going to college, school, or going on a night out to the pub or to the club? What precautions would you take as a parent when they're ordering taxis?
I think that's a really good question. What I would say is don't let your child in a taxi. don't let your child anywhere unless they've got an adult present. We've got Ubers now. Ubers weren't around when I was a child, but I always got warned, even by my rapist. My rapist wouldn't actually allow me in a taxi because he knew what was going on. So I got warned to stay away from them. But yeah, what I would say to parents is don't allow your child in a taxi.
You see, I completely agree with you there. It may sound quite extreme saying something like that, but if that's the best form of protection, not putting them into that predicament in the first place for something to happen to them, because this is the whole reason why I'm here, Sammy. I keep hearing about these taxi drivers committing these offences over and over again, and it's not, and like what you just educated me with as well. It's not just taxi drivers, also takeaways owners and local Labour councillors and politicians, which we all know of, have a bit of a penchant when it comes to paedophilia and rape, etc. But it is that serious.
As well, for any parents out there and they are looking for some advice, I did write a book. It's called Just a Child, and at the back of that book there is a list of things for parents, carers, professionals, of what they can do, to help educate them as a parent, kind of things they should and shouldn't do, or even just things they should be, keeping in case there's an investigation.
A lot of my family members, they work, they do taxing, they're Ubers, obviously I'm Sikh, and they have cameras in their car, they insist on doing it themselves, and like what you said, it is for their own protection. One thing that keeps being brought to my attention from my own family members who are taxi drivers is how people from the Pakistani faith, 1 minute you'll have a male driver, then next minute there'll be another driver, and may not even be the same sex. One of my uncles got into a taxi the other day and it came down from Nottingham from somewhere, and it's supposed to be a female taxi driver. When he got in, it was clearly a male. When he asked that question, I thought there's a female taxi driver supposed to be picking me up. He just replied with, don't worry about it, you're still going to get to where you're going to get to. My uncles keep saying to me that you see the same cars on the roads in Nottingham City Centre 20, 18, 22 hours. That's impossible for one man to even do that shift. So we understand that the legislation and the safeguarding around people driving these taxis, it's not as safe and secure as where it should be. We were just talking about a minute ago about the licensing when it comes to these taxis. I'll tell you a quick story of mine. A good friend of mine who was very high up in local council, he was working there in the taxi department, and individuals were coming for the taxi license, couldn't even speak English.
Yeah.
And he was like, what the hell are they even doing here? They're supposed to speak some sort of form of English, but they were coming in with translators, and the council were just giving them away the licenses, giving the licenses away willy-nilly to individuals that have no right to have it. We keep seeing on the streets of Nottingham, and I even saw it around here, taxis that have been registered in Wolverhampton.
Yeah.
And we just spoke about that earlier. Could you explain to us what that's all about as well?
Yeah, so when we was working on the campaign and we were successful in Rotherham, and then we started working around the UK, some towns and cities were working with us and they agreed with us. But what we found taxi drivers were doing was going to somewhere such as Wolverhampton, where they could get their licence and then operate everywhere. And this, again, I spoke to a lot of taxi drivers about this, and they weren't happy about that. You get a lot of good taxi drivers. They're there to, they're being safe, they're doing everything as they should be. They want to earn a living, and then you're getting these taxi drivers coming along, breaking all the rules, spoiling it for everyone, and not doing things how they're supposed to. And it's things like this that I've raised with the ministers, because there's so much going on with the taxi drivers. I could sit here all day and tell you stories. In fact, one of my last meetings in government was with the then Transport Minister, Louise Hay. I raised a lot of issues with her, which I worked with her for years. I don't work with her now.
This was just before you got cancelled, wasn't it?
Yes. So
yeah, tell us that story.
I had a meeting with Louise, which again is something I've done often. It was announced before and after. I always like to let my followers know a little bit about the work that I'm doing. It keeps them up to date. And the Times newspaper did a story saying that the minister that had this secret meeting with me. I was Tommy Robinson's representative, etc. They contacted her, and that was the last time me and her ever spoke. So it's what I would describe as a hit piece.
No.
So, and I think that was done deliberately. I think Hope Not Hate was behind that. As we know, they are a far left agency. They like to attack anybody that has common sense.
Yeah, we've seen that time and time.
Yeah, and some of them are now working in Andy Burnham's office, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen quite a few of their banners and stuff being held around the Manchester area over the past few months. Actually, it's been happening. Well, it's been happening a lot longer than that as well.
Terrible organisation.
Disgusting
That government should be anywhere near.
The people with the least morals, the least common sense, the most racist, attacking people with utmost morals that aren't racist. It just doesn't make sense at all. You know what I mean, it's completely backwards. Sammy, is there any more instances in the rape gang inquiry that were brought to light that you'd like to mention?
Well, I think, overall, let's kind of look at what we found. So we found cases going back to the 1950s, right up to the current day. We actually were contacted by children asking to come to our hearings. So please don't think this is something of the past. This is something that's happening today, and it will certainly be happening tomorrow. But it was happening all over the country to girls and boys. From the age of 4, children was passed around, but it showed it was usually from the age of 11. Majority were Muslim men. Politicians knew, police, NHS, the failings were across the board. And, the most horrific things were happening to the children.
I know. I mean, we've been highlighting this topic for near enough 2 decades now. And to finally see pen on paper and the inquiry, the work that you yourself and Mr. Rupert Lowe and his team bring to light, a lot of it's shocking me as well. I mean, you've told us about instances about animals raping children, instances of police officers raping children. Is there anybody else that would shock you to find out that they're actually in the inquiry as well?
Well, nothing shocks me because I've lived it and I've been working in this area for 14 years. So what I was hearing out of the inquiry, I knew. I was just so proud of the, now men and women that were strong and brave enough to come forward and share it. Because, one thing that's frustrating for me, and I think you'll probably same, is that, we have been here well over a decade, 2 decades, people like Tommy, talking about this. When these people only now saying, oh my God, did this happen? And I'm like, where the hell have you all been?
Yeah, precisely.
I've all these interviews and all this work we've been doing. Was anyone actually listening to
I mean, this country can get so upset and so furious over the most minor things, such as a football or something.
Yeah.
But the biggest crime that's ever been committed to children, to female children, predominantly throughout the world, you don't see that furiosity there. You know what I mean? You don't see that rage there that should be there, that we've had for near enough 2 decades. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I do find that quite upsetting sometimes.
No, I totally agree. And do you know what? I'll be really honest. I do feel very let down by our men. And you're exactly right. They'll go and have a punch up over a football game, but they don't want to come out and protect our children. And I do honestly think that's one of the reasons of why it has escalated like it has. I mean, we know that it weren't only white children targeted. We know Sikh children were targeted. I mean, I would say every community has been targeted by this. But when it happened to the Sikh children, the Sikh men come out to defend them. A lot of Sikh men went to prison, didn't they?
They're still in prison right now.
Yeah.
Family members that are still there.
We didn't get that from our men. So that's really disappointing. And I think, if we kind of look at this overall, I think that our men have been weakened. I think that's been done deliberately. So yeah, I think as well, we should mention the broken homes. There were children coming from broken homes as well. So dads are either, not in the picture at all, at work, or, they've left home for, another family or whatever.
It's a too common story, isn't it? It happens quite a lot.
Yeah, so there's so much to talk.
Do you believe these grooming gangs are still operating now?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, there's no doubt.
I don't even believe you. I don't even believe we've started to actually delve into how extensive this is.
Oh, I totally agree.
What does the inquiry say regarding that?
Well, what you've got to remember is we have social media now. So when this was happening to me, 20 odd years ago, we didn't have social media. Now you can just, slip straight into the DMs. It's so easy to have access to a child.
True, yeah.
And as well, it's very hard for the authorities. And I know I spend a lot of time criticising, police or social care and these services, and very rightly so. But I've also worked with them. So I've worked with every police force in England and Wales. I know there's some very good police officers out there that feel just as frustrated as what we do. So for example, the social media thing, it's very hard to to tackle that side of it. So I think we need more laws, we need more power to be able to go after these men and women, and there's so much work that needs to be done.
Did the rape gang inquiry delve into what their ideas would to be to fix this problem?
Yes, and I've got a lot more ideas. We could have gone all day.
Yeah.
So I think the death penalty.
Scare them off once and for all.
Yeah, dead rapists don't reoffend, do they?
100%, yeah.
I think we need more prisons, we need lengthier sentences. Some people have been found guilty not even going to prison.
Or they've been found guilty and they start walking the streets immediately straight after.
Exactly. We need millions of deportations. We need reforming education, policing, social care. We don't even have enough police officers to be dealing with the crimes. They're not even trained, so we need training, policy law changes. God, there's so much we need to do, but it can be done.
It can be done.
If we have a government where enough people actually care, it can be done, but that's the problem. They don't care. And the biggest challenge this country is facing is to change the mindsets of people. When we change that, we'll succeed.
Sammy, I want to thank you very much for today.
Thank you.
God bless. Now it's time to get over to the sting.
Mr. Humza from Derby, he's been sending pictures of himself. He's saying, oh, you're 15 with a woman's body. I'm from Derby, what's your age? Decoy said I'm 16 in July. It's currently June. Oh my God, I'm too old for you. But then later on, where do you want to meet? Where you want to go? Please, let's meet soon. Please show me your tits. I want to suck them and chill with you. He has been sending pictures of his penis. Another micro penis we're dealing with today, Wayne. Disgusting. For some reason, these perverts all have micro penises. I will marry you. Are you going? Please let me see you. Please let me see them. Okay, you have big boobs. You look like woman. Okay, send me them, please. Send me that one, please. I want your body. Yes, I do want you, but what do you want? He sounds like Yoda. It's all hello, you come go, please. Bloody hell. It sounds like he's like auditioning for a perverted part in Star Wars or something. No one will know. You please get me in trouble. Please promise me. Do you wear Asian clothes? Can I see you in them? Any pictures? Okay, let's see. So look, he's talked naughty. He's sent sexual illicit communications. He sent pictures of his penis. He knows that she's a 15-year-old girl. Show me tonight, hair open. I want to see your peaches. What does he mean by that?
Peaches.
Oh, dirty bastard. I will suck your tits and I will play with them. I wish I can see them. Okay, just let me see one. He sounds like a tit to me. Picture, it made my big. Now, that's a lie, It goes on and on and on and on. The communications have been going on for quite a while now. Here's a couple more. First, he said that he was working at DHL, the warehouse, which is basically at Castle Donington. Now he's saying that he's an Uber driver because he's not able to work there anymore because he's got to see his kids at the weekend or something. Guramit saying the other day we went to meet Mr. Humza. The decoys just told me, since me and my cameraman have been driving down there, that he's saying he's already there. So I've told the decoy not to go anywhere near the location, which is good because it does becoming a nightmare keeping their face and the registration out. Sometimes we miss it, and these individuals, we need to keep their identities as secret as anything. So the decoy's staying out of the way. Wayne, unfiltered, God bless him, he's round the corner in a pub. Nothing changes there. We're going to be there in 10 minutes. So I've told Wayne, get your ass out of the pub, put your pint down, get in your mate's van and get into location now because we are only 8 minutes away. So it's a little bit of a rush job, but the paperwork is in the boot of my car. Recently, he's been crying his eyes out to our decoy online for some reason, asking for some sort of mental support. He's lost his child. He's not a taxi driver anymore. He can't wait to get his license back. So from our evidence, what we believe is he was or is a taxi driver. Currently, he's working Uber and DPD. I did actually try to get hold of because I've got a lot of friends, especially in the Derbyshire area, Nottinghamshire area. I did actually try to get hold of quite a lot of people that worked at DPD, that know people that work at DPD, to see if they could find him in any of the departments, in the driving department, in the warehouse, daytime, night shift, but we couldn't lock in on him. Right, so we are 5 minutes away. Wayne has just called me. He said that there's no one there. He's told the decoy that he's there. Okay, let me. What you said? Wait, you wait there. Let me just ring the decoy. He's not here. Has he told you what car he's in? He's round the corner where? All right. Have a good look around. All right, all the ins and outs. How you doing? You alright? What's he said? Did you see him coming in? Just now. Okay. Tell him you're going to be 10 minutes. Windows up, aircon on, doors locked. Okay? Alright. He is scoping this place out. Decoy's just arrived. Decoy's going to tell him that she's going to be here in 10 minutes. He said he's waiting around the corner till she gets here. So we're just going to have to wait and see. Just send a snap and we'll deal with it. If he pulls in, he pulls in. If he looks and drives off like he did in Rochdale, we'll follow him. Don't worry. Okay? Just tell him I'm here. Come and get me. That's it. Wayne, she's sending the snap now, and then he'll be coming straight here. He's coming. He's coming. He's coming now. He's coming now. We're on. Sting on. That's him. That's him. Block it. Block it. Block it. That's him. That's him. That's him. That's him. We've got it. Positive ID. That's him. Humza. You know where I am, pal, are you? My name's Guramit Singh. I represent the Pred Hunter. I represent the PredHunter.com. You today have arrived to meet to come and meet up what you believe is a 15-year-old girl. I'm performing a citizen's arrest on you right now. You've been sending. Turn the engine off. Hands off the steering wheel. Engine off now.
Yep.
All right, listen. Turn your engine off for him.
Turn the engine off.
Listen. Turn your engine off. Okay. You've been sending pictures of your people. Hold on. Wait there. You haven't. You haven't at all.
We don't know about you. Got the wrong person, mate.
What's this?
We don't know about you. Got the wrong person.
Is that not you?
No, that's not me.
That's not him. Hey, look at the picture. That's you, Humza. You have been sending illicit pictures of your penis to what you believe is a 15-year-old girl. Why did you do this?
I didn't do, bro.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You did this.
I didn't.
Why did you do this? Why did you? It's you, bro. It's you, bro. Mate, I know it's you. From all our detective work and everything we've got going, I know it's you. Our decoy just sent a snap from VShat right here. You came to man. Now listen, before we move any forward, I need to make sure you have not got any knives or any guns on your person. Do you have anything on your person? Where's your mobile phone?
I haven't.
Where's your mobile phone?
That's my personal phone, mate.
Where's your mobile phone? Where's your mobile phone?
Just leave me
Right, you keep hold of him. Keep hold of him there. Where's your mobile phone?
I'm not grabbing you, bro. I'm not grabbing you.
Call police now. Where's your mobile phone?
It's not me, bro.
Where's your mobile phone? I said. Keep hold of him there. I'm going to search his car. We need to make sure you've got no weapons, nothing at all on your person. Okay? We need to make sure that you've got anything that can harm or endanger us. There's a bag here, delivery driver. That's what you told her. That's what you told her. You're a delivery driver. You're a delivery driver. Mr. Shabir Rez Nawaz. Humza. It works out. He works at DHL. He's got a DHL uniform in there. You work at Uber Eats. His real name is Mr. Shabir Nawaz. If you want to have a quick look in there, this is going out to millions and millions of people shortly. My name's Guramit Singh and I represent UrbanScoop.news. You know precisely who I am. Let me put this back in your boot. Let me put this back in your boot. No, I ain't got the right person. I've got precisely the right person. Listen, my mate, I'm confident I've got the right person. You have come here to rape a 15-year-old child. That's what you've done.
No, I didn't do nothing like that.
Hey, listen, where's your taxi license gone?
I'm not a taxi driver, mate.
All right, you said that you were going to get your taxi license back. When was that going to happen? Why did you lose it?
No, I didn't.
All right, so I know you've been working at Uber Eats. I know you've been working at DHL as well.
No comment. You've got the wrong person.
I've got you, bro. All your information in the back. I've now got your phone. Now give me access to your phone.
I'm not going to give
What's your PIN number to the phone?
No.
Listen, you do understand if you don't give the police your PIN number to your phone, you'll get 5 years. What's the password to your phone? All right, well, I've got your phone. I've got your phone.
Please don't search me.
I'm searching you. I'm searching you in case you got.
Hit me.
We're not. Nobody's hitting you. No one's slapping you. All right, no. You're going to keep hold of you. You keep hold of him there. You're under citizen's arrest.
Get off my hand now.
No. Listen. He's performed a citizen's arrest on you for sending pictures of your penis to what you believe is a 15. Yes, you did. Yes, mate. Yes, mate. It's you, mate. What is this? Look, she told you she was going to be 16 in July. She's not 16.
No, she just lied.
All right, listen. He's even got the same jacket on in the picture of the penis that you sent her.
That's not my penis.
This is how all you girls look slimmer and bigger. You want to meet me where you want to go? I've never done that before. Do you have a boyfriend? I will marry me. You going? Please let me see your tits.
Picture, but that's not my penis.
All right. Well, whose penis is it then?
It's not me, mate.
Whose penis is it then? Whose penis is it then?
Me, mate.
Whose penis is it?
Do that,
so
mate.
you're telling me that you've been taking pictures of other people's penises and sending it out to children, yeah? Is that what you've been doing?
What's the proof that was my penis?
So you've been taking pictures of other people's penises. Whose penis was it? Was it another child's penis? Is it a family member's penis? Because we know you've got your son. You do know after this that you won't be allowed near your son for the foreseeable future. Oh, look, you have big boobs. Look, I love you like a woman. Who taught you English anyway? It seems like you're born in England, but your English is terrible.
Let me tell you one thing, right? We've been doing this for a long time, yeah?
A hell of a long time.
We know when there's a guilty bastard sat right in front of me, and I tell you what,
That's fine.
Get a full picture of his face.
guilty
Get a
as fuck.
Yeah, get a full picture of his face. Have you got anything to say to this girl, you know, this child that you could have met today and caused this horrific crime suit? Were you planning on raping this girl today?
No.
What were you planning on doing then?
Nothing.
How much did you charge her for a taxi back to Birmingham?
Nothing.
So you were going to do it for free?
Nothing.
We've got evidence to say that you charged her £30.
No.
You said that you were a taxi driver.
No.
But then you said you worked at DHL and you also worked at Uber Eats. You've got Uber Eats bags in your boot and you've also got DHL workwear in your boot.
No.
Are your family going to see this? What are your family going to say about this?
It's wrong.
Big bad, what's his name again? Shabir? What? Hold on, let's get his ID out again. Shabir Nawaz. Have you ever sent explicit communications to any of the child before this girl online?
No.
Have you ever sent it to any young boy?
No comment.
Have you ever raped any children before in your
No
life?
comment.
Were you intending on raping this 15-year-old girl today?
No comment.
Oh, we've got another phone here. We've got two now. Is this something that you've been doing for a long time?
No.
Who taught you to act in this manner?
No.
Was this manner introduced to you by your religion or your people?
No comment.
Are you part of any grooming gangs in the Derby area?
Comment.
Have you ever had any associations with any grooming gang members?
No.
We've got the dossier of evidence. We've got it over and over again. It's actually the same picture of the jacket and everything, what he's wearing right now.
No comment.
Even that penis picture is the same picture as that jacket he's got right there now.
No comment.
Look at it.
Is that not you then?
No
Is that
comment.
No, that's not you. Listen, that's
No, not
precisely
you.
you.
My pictures is me, but that's not.
Oh, yeah. Oh, so you're telling us that all the millions and millions of Pakistani Muslim people in Great England, in Great Britain, you decided to pull up and when we were looking for absolutely somebody else and he was using your picture falsely. Let me tear that hat off because you look a bit hot. Yeah, you get that face. You get. No, that's what's happening now. That's what's happening. No, listen. You ain't gonna get away from him. That's a picture of you without your hat on. Look, don't give me that back. Not giving nothing back. You came here to meet a 15-year-old child. You were coming. No, all right, no, you're not getting your hat back. You're waiting here. Don't worry about it. You're not having it. You're not having it because you couldn't use it as a weapon. You're not having a weapon. No, you're not having your hat back. You're not having your hat back. You're a paedophile. You've come here to be a 15-year-old child. You're a paedophile.
I'm not running away.
But you're a paedophile, aren't you? Mate, you're a paedophile.
No.
You're a paedophile.
No.
Come on, you're a paedophile.
I'm not.
You open up your phone for me. I'll give you your hat back.
Nah.
Open up your phone.
No.
Give me the code to your phone. I'll give you your hat back. All right, no news then. No. Today's the last day you're ever going to do this. Have you got any message to the viewers at home?
No comment.
Have you got any message to your family at home?
No comment.
You got any message to your son at home?
No comment.
You do know after this you won't be able to see your son again.
No comment.
You will not be allowed to go near your son ever again, okay? You know that. I'm going to make sure of this.
What was you here for?
I was working, mate.
Ah, fuck off. Good excuse.
Tell truth.
I was
Is
working,
it something
mate.
with your religion you can't tell truth?
I was
It's not
working,
hard though,
mate.
is it? Just tell truth. It's not difficult. You're that much
why
of a
did you
sad
do it?
bastard. You have to come and meet 15-year-old kids.
You've got
I've
children.
got kids that are 15 and 17.
And you've got a wife at home.
Disgusting,
And you've got a
mate.
wife at home.
What you fucking are?
What? Who the f do you think you are? You got children yourself. How would you like it if your little boy was groomed behind a dot online? No, but how would you like it? You got children.
You say no comment.
So how do you think? How the f do you think it is where you commit these sort of crimes to other children?
No comment, mate.
You've got a child. What's your thinking? Where's your mental clarity?
you, mate.
It's you. Fuck off. Hey, our 15-year-old decoy would like to talk to you. Humza, say hello.
Hello? Hi, yeah.
Hey, have you got anything to say to him?
Listen, you've got caught out. You did a madness. You want to marry me, 15-year-old child.
What you got to say to that?
Listen,
Speak.
yeah, but
Speak.
it's wrong. That wasn't
Why
me.
did you do it then?
That wasn't me.
Well, who else was it then?
That wasn't me.
Was it your
It
friend?
was you. I recognise your voice.
You've got a son.
No comment.
You've got a son, lad.
Have you got a missus?
He's not got a no, his missus split up with him and she's got the son. Thank for that.
Can I exclude?
No, you can't shut the door. Hey, lad, come round here, take a proper picture. His name's Mr. Shabir Nawaz. He came here to meet what he believed was a 15-year-old child. He's been sending.
The wrong information.
Yeah, so what he's saying is his pictures, but we've got someone randomly, but it's not him. Maybe there's a moment of clarity coming in you right now. You've got something to say. I'll tell you what, it'll probably hold up in court for you. Is there anything you want to say to me? Is there anything you want to say? Anything you want to say? Are you sorry? You're sorry, yeah? You're sorry? He's sorry.
It's dawned on him, hasn't it?
It's done a dusting now, ain't it, lad? Have you been talking to other girls?
No.
Just tell me that.
No, honestly, no.
Look.
No, I'm being real.
You are sorry, bro.
I'm not that. Yeah, 100%. I'm sorry.
You're sorry.
Because I'm not that type of person, bro.
Why did you do it then?
Just been through a lot of hardship, man.
Yeah, but listen, bro. Listen. What hardship you been going through to make you message 15-year-old children on the internet and send pictures of your penis to him?
I didn't, bro. I didn't.
No, well, you just
said. I walked
she didn't come
away.
to you because we don't need to have nobody.
Me.
No, you don't. Because listen, I've got a team of decoys, and I've got a team of decoys, and I work with them closely on the internet. Listen, we've got all the evidence here.
I walked away from it, bro.
Yeah, and then you came back a couple of weeks later.
No, I didn't.
You walked away from her a bit ago. Yes. So how did you instigate the meet today then?
She just really picked
No,
it from there.
you left her alone when you found out her age, and then you came back weeks later. But we've got this evidence from before because she records the evidence from a separate phone. It's not from the screenshot phone. So we've got you from before. So you did not, this new time of talking to her.
away from it, bro.
Hold on, yeah, but we've got the evidence of when you walked away, but you still committed the crime. You still sent explicit messages and videos and images to her.
That wasn't me, bro. I said I'm sorry.
Fuck's
I
sake.
said I'm sorry, bro.
Well, who was it then? Who was it then? The fairy? Who was it? The grooming fairy?
I didn't know he was her.
What?
So she just been picking up, going back home.
Yeah. Where's her home?
Where's it home?
She said Warsaw.
Where?
How do you know? So you were talking to her then? Oh, mate, come on, man.
I said I was.
The whole you're digging for yourself is so monumentous. I've never known anything about it. You're probably. I don't know.
I'm going to give you a crown here. Yeah.
Go on,
I've
then.
met some thick people in my life. Yeah, a lot. Yeah. Even when I was
Severe
in
in
when I
ours.
was in army, I met some thick people. Yeah, all over the country. Well, you've just got that crown straight off me. Yeah, you've just won that crown. You should be proud of that.
Do you know what I've also found? Because the police officers rung me the other day about the sting of Sabir Hussain in Leicester, and his solicitors actually rung the police to ask me to take the video down. I told them to tell the solicitors to go f themselves. You know what I mean? But what the police officer explained to me, he goes, we're into his phone, and what you actually find is he may have been talking to that one, but you know they were talking to hundreds more. And we saw that with the sting with Tanvir Hussain as well, where actually went live from his phone on his own socials doing the sting. And even there, when we went onto his phone on Snapchat, he was talking to shitloads more girls. So this isn't the only one. And the whole point of what I do, it's not to just go out and just name shame people. It's a preventative measure. This man could have actually been meeting a child today who he could have caused long-term sexual and mental damage to. You know, we've seen this. We've seen this in multiple victims that I talked to in documentaries. Kieran's Justice is a perfect example. That we have to put you people away, and that's what we're doing here today. What are you saying, Mr. Robinson? I want you to meet Shabir Nawaz. Shabir Nawaz, you got anything to say to Mr. Tommy Robinson? God bless Tommy. See you soon. Shabir Nawaz, the police officers are here. Today, you're going to be arrested for crimes of sending sexual illicit images to a child. Once you go to court, we will be there to give evidence, and I will make sure, no matter what, that you will go to jail. And even if you don't go to jail, my main thing that I actually do is I make people famous and ruin their lives. You came here with intentions, God knows what intentions, to a 15-year-old girl. Well, I personally believe is to rape. And I stopped that from happening. I've stopped you from doing this in the future to any other child. And me, Wayne Unfiltered, and his colleagues, and my boy Chillits, we're all proud of that. Have you got anything else to say? Your taxi's here, mate. Shabir Nawaz, your taxi's here. Here, I've got one for you. Crack on here. Good afternoon, officer. I'll let you do your dealings with him, and then I can tell you what's happened.
Any of the pack right now?
I've got the pack with you right here, officer. It shows all the communications, sexual communications Mr. Shabir Nawaz has been sending what he believes is a 15-year-old child. He's been sending pictures of his penis. He instigated the meet to what he believes was a 15-year-old child. They're both of his phones. These are his sunglasses and hat. I'll leave them in the car. At the back of that pack, there's also the MG11 that me and my decoy have filled out. All our details, the contact details are there as well, so you can email us messages. We've done this 100 times. We do it a number of times a week. This is the individual, Shabir Nawaz, right here. This is the individual right here.
Me, mate. That's right. Can I just get my cap, mate?
He wants his cap.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's anything in that cap. I don't know why he wants his cap so much. I don't know Shabir Nawaz, but I'm not going to trust a paedophile that's come to meet a 15-year-old.
Yeah, she can. Just go with her.
Officers, if you want to give him a bloody good hiding as well, we're not going to say anything about that. But, you know, I'll let you lot crack on. Shabir Nawaz, goodbye from Guramit Singh and the Pred Hunter team, and also the Sikh Army team. That's the money shot. Get that money shot there. See you in a bit, lads. Anything else you need from me, officer?
Everybody's here's details. Your details are in the back.
All our details are here.
DK's,
Decoys up there, but we'll keep the decoy out of the way. All the details are in the back. These guys are just basically, they're friends of mine, so I just brought them along, but they don't have anything to do with my organisation. This is me, Guramit Singh, right? Yeah. And then the other end. Officers, thank you very much. Take care, God bless you. All the best. That's Guramit Singh, Sikh Army, Wayne Unfiltered. We are out. Another one in the bag. Now let's go to the pub. I'm joking. I'm going to see the wife. God bless all. Come on then.
We've seen how the authorities and the government of the police ignored the plight of the victims of the grooming gang scandal. We've seen how they put the safeguarding of young children on the back bench, all to just move forward with their social cohesion experiment. It's down to us, you and I, to protect our women and children and the women and children of others as well. I stated that in Kira's Justice. Myself and my team hope to God that the victims of the grooming gang scandal one day find their peace. And we hope to God that Rotherham will one day be restored to its former glory. My name's Guramit Singh. I'll catch you in the next episode.
If you've experienced or witnessed misconduct involving a taxi or private hire driver, support and reporting resources are now available on your screen.
If you or anyone you know has been affected by rape or child sexual abuse and feel justice has not been served, please reach out to our team at Guramit Singh at urbanscoop.news. For concerned parents seeking advice and guidance on issues explored in this documentary, you can email us or contact the organizations featured on screen for support, advice, and practical help.
Please can I urge you to show your support for our work now and into the future by visiting urbanscoop.news/support-us. Any contributions, big or small, go a long way in our continued work. Thank you.